All right. Hello, chat. How's it going? Hopefully well. We're back. We're playing more Resident Evil. I almost said the wrong thing. We're playing Resident Evil 3 again. And it's kind of just a steady, relatively chill grind at this point, really. It's just, you know, I've got some money to make in Mercenaries. And that's not too bad. I gotta do a couple more playthroughs, and by a couple I mean 4, but that's not too bad. It really, RE3 is a game that we're gonna be on for a bit more, but nothing too crazy is really happening. We're kinda just chilling. So with that said, let me just boot it up. Hold on. Hold on now. You hear it? Yeah, you know the sound. You know it. There it is. Every time. Every time. Well, I have to... This should... Wait a minute. Wait a minute. That's what I'm looking for. Sorry, I had to open something up from a Discord message. Okay. We're chilling now. We're good.
Resident Evil.
What am I drinking today? Another same thing as yesterday. Grape Rush Celsius. Grape. It's just grape flavor. But it's a grape rush. I don't even know how much money I have in Mercenaries, to be honest with you. I kind of have no idea. Considering how much of the main story I have left versus like how much Mercenaries grind I have left, I feel like I should do like a little Mercenaries each day, but most of the stream still be running through the main story.
Welcome.
I think that's probably the best way to split this so that it doesn't come down to just being one or the other. We'll see.
The target point.
Grape enjoyer like a true Minnesotan. It's true. We're known to enjoy grape flavor.
So do not be afraid to.
There we go. I'm mildly distracted. Okay. I'm locked in. I swear, I'm locked in. I've been all over the place this morning. Oh, shit. That just went over them. That's disappointing. There goes one shot.
Because I saw the D.
Thank you, False. She done forgot. I wasn't sure if he was gonna fall over or not, so I waited like a second. Gave it a slight pause. I don't know if they have a mango. They might. They have a lot of flavors, actually. Like, I kind of keep discovering new ones whenever I'm at the store or the gas station. Damn it, no combo. Shit. I always forget about him. Thank God I got... Oh, I thought he was gonna fall. 43? That's terrible. Okay, I got 53 by shooting him. Slightly better. Not much better. I mostly salvaged it. I'm still not happy with it. 43 sucks ass. I'm actively disappointed in 43 seconds at the barrel. Three. Go. I hate that the timer runs down while he's running. Like, I get that I get a time bonus, so it's kind of offset, but still. Frustrates me just a little bit. Just gotta go to Brad next. Because I think, if I remember right, I can get every survivor with Mihail. I'm not 100% on that, but I think I can. Like, reasonably get every survivor, I mean. You can theoretically get all of them with any of the mercenaries, but I think it's, like, actually pretty reasonable to do it with Mihail. Whereas, like, Carlos... not so much. Carlos just does not have the ammo. Or really the firepower for it. Because his ammo isn't really the problem. It's kind of the problem, but it's more that his assault rifle and pistol just can't kill things quickly. So you lose so much time saving a survivor playing as Carlos. Why are all zombie dogs Dobermans in the Resident Evil universe? They are until, am I gonna be, yeah, in danger, shit. Until 4. And I don't know if there's lore behind it. I know that the Doberman, the T-Virus Doberman is officially called a Cerberus, not a dog. But I don't know if there's any sort of like lore reason behind Umbrella only doing T-Virus experiments with Dobermans. It might just be because they're big, strong dogs. I mean, it makes sense. Oh, shit. Cerberus with only one head. Yeah, but it sounds cool, okay? It's a cool sounding name. Damn it. Were cloned from a Doberman? Oh. What? Ever seen a Chihuahua turn into a Doberman? Is that what the T-Virus does? It turns any dog breed into a Doberman? Oy. So it's kind of like COD Zombies Hellhound lore then, I guess, if they're all clones. Where with the Hellhounds, there was one original Hellhound, shout out my girl Fluffy. But then, you know, little teleporter whoopsie daisy, little ethereal energy going on, little 115 action. And all of Fluffy's puppy litter that she was carrying at the time, I guess, turned into an infinite flow of full-grown hellhounds. Because that makes sense, lore-wise. Absolutely. Right? shit. There we go. Combo. Same breed. For the experiments in 1 makes sense. The rest of them are probably common cop dogs. Isn't the most common, like, canine breed a shepherd, though? A German shepherd? At least in the US it is. It probably varies depending where you are. But here, the most common... There are a fair amount of Dobermans, though, as well. So maybe. More realistically, it was just in the first game, they were like, yeah, it's 1 facility doing 1 experiment, so, like... You know, we don't have to really think about it too much. Second game... We already have dog enemies made from the first game. Just use those. Third game... We already got dog enemies. They're all in, like, the same relative area, right? It's fine. It works out. Code Veronica... We're halfway across the globe, but fuck it. We already have these dog enemies. Just use those again. German Shepherds are common police dogs here. Yeah, they're by far the most common here. Shit. Get up. You know you wanna. Stupid bitch. We use Labradors? Man, who the fuck is scared of a Labrador? I say as the owner of a Labrador. Bro, if my dog was like barking at you, angry at you, you would not be afraid. Like, she's not small, but like labs aren't that big either. They do got teeth though, man. When she was a puppy, Jesus Christ. When she was teething, the worst. The fuck is a Labrador? Dog breed. It's what I have. My dog is a Labrador. I don't know. I would not be scared of a Labrador, but maybe it's because I've also grown up with, I guess, bigger dogs. Not like big dogs, like no Great Danes or anything, but like I've grown up with bigger dogs like Dobermans, German Shepherds, Labradors. Labradors are kind of small by comparison to the first two though. Granted, I should mention that my current dog was also the runt of her litter. She was the small one. So she's like about knee height, like her shoulder height is about to my knee. Maybe it's a little above my knee. Probably, yeah, a little above my knee, but she's not big. But she's not too much smaller. They don't seem like a police dog breed. That's what I'm saying. Like, they're not small, and they've got good schnozzes and all that, so I could see them for that, right? But I feel like, you know, you got like a guy running through the woods, you can't keep up, you just send the canine. Bro, I would not be afraid of that canine. I would keep running. You send like a shepherd or a Doberman in after me, I am just stopping. I give up. I surrender. They tried with German Shepherds, but they were unable to train them. And one of the dogs bit a cop's crotch. They were bred for retrieving game. They are great hunting dogs. My dog is trained for hunting. Trained her for it, and I don't think we've ever actually taken her hunting. I don't hunt. But my dad was like, train her for hunting. She needs to be able to hunt, to go catch birds. So I did. And I don't think she's ever been hunting in her life. Granted, there were a couple years where I didn't live here, so I don't know, maybe she did get to go hunting. But we had the big, like, fake duck toy, like full size, like kind of duck toy that you train her with. I think I still have that somewhere. It's just tucked away. I don't know where, but surely I still have it. Hello, Arson. Check this out. I'm gonna get the barrel set up this time, I swear. This is the finicky barrel. Hello, Jess. Oh, beautiful. I needed that. I'm a little short on time. Mostly because infected Nemi, or I always say infected Nemi as if he's not always infected. Why can I not go through the door? It just actually wouldn't let me. I'm sitting there mashing it. Until I shook that first one off, it wouldn't let me through. Sorry, I always say infected Nemi as if he's not. That one was quiet. The first one was kind of quiet. That one was, what was that? Was that I would stick my finger in that? I'd stick my finger in that. More questionable notes in my phone. Good thing no one ever reads through those. And half of the questionable notes in my phone are just things that False has said. Really makes you think. People say she's the wholesome one and I'm the bad one. But all the crazy shit that's written in my phone's notepad is just shit that she said. I'm dead. I knew it. God damn it. The stun lock. False is an angel. She has you all fooled. You both are wild. People say I'm the bad influence here. I mean, come on. Hold on. How much money am I at? 4,500 is not bad. Okay. We slandering my favorite streamer? It's only slander if it's untrue. By legal definition. So, no. No, we are not. We might be talking shit, but we are not slandering. Satan was an angel. He was. That's a good comeback. I need to remember that.
Welcome.
That's a good rebuttal. You gotta give it to him. He was an angel. can't see them. No, they're still there. Maybe just, you probably refreshed. Jess used to work in IT. She knows better than anyone. When shit's not working, you just restart it and it works. But no, it should work. I used to work in IT, of course I refreshed, exactly. As soon as I said it, I was like, wait a minute. Shit. We're gone. We're fine. I can't even physically watch False's streams, not because they're bad, but because when she starts, it's 2 a.m. in my region. False, I think you might need to go for the prime time block. That 2 p.m. stream block. The real prime time. Oh, this one's gonna be good. I can feel it. 69, bitches. I would choose false streams 100%. I don't know. I don't know. I have this thing called a real job, she says. Crazy. Crazy. I thought that VTubers were supposed to be, like, chronically unemployed. I thought that was, like, part of the gig. There's like 3. Never mind. Never mind. You know who else is chronically unemployed? Who, Tibbet? Who? They are. False is the exception. Chole's now slandering VTubers once again. It's only slander if it's untrue. By legal definition. Only slander if it's untrue. Ah, shit. I was trying to slip by the way I did last time. It wasn't gonna work twice in a row. I never get that lucky. Fuck you, Hunter. Fuck you, Hunter. Just register as self-employed and then you're good to go. Yeah. Yeah. Help. Content creation is a real job because look at how much money it pays. Dude. So, I literally just the other day, at the end of March, so April 1st was when this would have happened. I saw, like, in my YouTube studio, like, how much I made for the month of March on ad revenue and stuff. And I was like, I didn't really upload much in March, but I made way more than I would think for having uploaded, I believe, 2 videos in the calendar month of March. And it made me wonder. I was like, okay, how much did those 2 videos make? And then if I take that out of my total pay for the month and also take out like crowdfunding stuff, how much of my YouTube income is literally just passive from like my backlog of content? And it was It was way more than I thought. That is now just like from 2 years of fucking grinding out videos, the backlog kind of just sustains itself way more than I had thought it did. Like, I knew that that was happening a bit, but I didn't realize how much of my monthly income was just passive income from videos from like 2 years ago. Oh yeah, and I had to take streams out of it too. I did do that. I just forgot to mention it. 54 seconds. 54 seconds is good. Ow. Really fun to play old games with them. Yeah, there are, well, you know, I've heard of this guy doing Armored Core content. I know he's just starting up, new channel out there somewhere. Some of you guys might have heard of him. He was recently, so I've heard, thinking about doing like a small series trying to get some of the most ridiculous Armored Core achievements on retro achievements, because some of them are ridiculous. When new stuff comes out, I see older videos get pushed to me by algo. Yeah, I just didn't realize like how much of it was actually passive. Like I kind of had it in my head that like I make this much money because I work this many hours in a month. But then in a month like this one where I worked a lot of hours, but because some of the projects I was working on were really big, I didn't get to upload as much. Like I didn't get as many videos out of that amount of time. I looked back on it and I was like, whoa, that's way more money than I thought I would make if I literally just didn't upload at all for a whole month. That's way more than I thought I would make. I thought I was making like $100 a month in passive income maybe from the backlog. I was way off. I was way lowballing it. Would you date a MILF vampire or a MILF beast girl? What is a beast girl? Define beast girl. I know what a vampire is. Beast girl is a little vague. I need clarification on this one. Like a furry? Like bunny or wolf? I'll take vampire. But both MILFs. So both pass. But if I had to choose. Oh my god, I can't go that way? Okay. Definitely dreams of Lady D. No, dude. Lady D, so incredibly overrated. Like, it's crazy. She literally, like, she wears clown makeup. I don't get it. Although, I've been on the internet long enough to have been made aware that some people fuck with clowns. Like, literally. So maybe that's part of the appeal for some people. Why Lady D when her daughters exist? See, he gets it. He absolutely gets it. Going after a woman's makeup, crazy. Look, it's not for me. She looks like the Joker, dude. Ah, son of a bitch. course it poisoned me too. Just my luck. Ooh, okay. I really should not have cured my poison before getting out of that area, but it's fine. Just say you hate... No, no. She literally, like, she has her whole face. She's not even, like, pale like that. She has, like that full face, like, white powder cover that, like, clowns do. Is it just her skin? Is it really just her skin? I thought it was makeup. Even if it's her skin, she looks like a clown. So it's still a no from me. It is her skin. Okay, well, she looks like a clown, so it's a no, regardless. But her daughters are a hive mind collective of flesh-eating flies. Surely there's a way to make it work, right? Because you say that by that logic, they don't have certain parts. But I say these flies that we're talking about collectively come together to form them, like as entire beings, right? That is legitimately the lore if you're not familiar. It is batshit. I think that me and the fly hive mind could find a way to make it work. So yes to bugs. Look, bugs are like a minor downside. Just look at them. Just look at them. We'll figure it out. Communication is important. So the fly OC. Okay, when you say it like that, it sounds unappealing. Where there's a will. Excuse me? There we go. He just ate 4 rockets. As long as this collection of bugs looks like that, my flesh is theirs. Also, yes, PoE 2 is tomorrow because it comes out in like 30 minutes. So I was like, what am I gonna do? Just like sit around in the waiting screen as the patch rolls out and pray that the patch rolls out smoothly and all that. I decided to just wait until tomorrow. As much as it saddened me to not play PoE today. But also, oh my God. Oh, I thought I was limping again. No, we're fine. Also, we know that there are 25 skills coming to the game and like, what is it? 40 new support gems or something like that, I think they said. And they were changing the entire passive tree basically. But with all of those details and all those promises, we didn't actually get like the specifics of what was changing. Like we didn't get a list of here's all the new skills, here's all the new supports, stuff like that. So like we don't even know right now. The new league starts in like 25 minutes and we don't even know what the builds look like that we could possibly do within this new league. So at the very least, like hopefully some info goes out about like what's on offer and what the Huntress is capable of and all that, like what the spear skills look like. And I can kind of browse a bit tonight before I go to bed, see what I like, see what stands out, and try to plan out some sort of build based on what little info comes out from people playing for the first few hours. That's my hope, is that I can be a little bit informed going into the new league tomorrow in terms of like, what the fuck am I doing with my character? Because as far as like the new ascendancies for existing classes, people already know how they're gonna league start if they're playing like the new blacksmith, which seems very popular, or the new lich ascendancy. But I'm planning on league starting Huntress, and that's a whole new class. We just don't know what the fuck she's gonna have. So I plan to do a little A little slight bit of browsing to get an idea before we jump in and start playing tomorrow. Oh god, I'm gonna get stun locked. I thought there was one more in the corner. Even when I dodge, bro. Fuck these enemies. The actual worst. So bad. Trying to procrastinate working. You could work and chat. What if the flies bite? I should just not even. An answer was formed that maybe is too wild for stream. maybe a little too far. It'll happen, I'm sure. It might. Even better, that's not what I was gonna say. Biting is not off the table. It's probably fairly likely. No, see, now that I said that, you guys are making it seem like it was way more wild than it was. Your assumptions are worse. I was just gonna say, is it like a playful bite, or is it like a I'm trying to eat you bite? Because there's a difference.
I got the biggest wang in the West.
Oh my god. Playful? That's probably fine. There are a lot of them. Oh shit. Fuck me, I just need to run. Oh my god! Get me the fuck out of there. Silk Song, you guys know damn well it's not coming out this year. Don't even start. You know it's not happening. No, I'm broke. Yeah, and the console's overpriced as fuck. It's the year of Silk Song. I sound like a broken record at this point, but this is the third year in a row that we've been told it's happening this year. I don't believe it at this point. There's a pattern of behavior on this one. I don't believe it. But that new 4 seconds, it's not even new. We've seen some of those clips before. They're from the Xbox showcase in like 2023. I think one of the clips was new, but like 3 of the little clips in there were from the old Xbox showcase. I find your lack of faith disturbing. It's not happening this year. Somewhere between 2025 and 2030 will be the year of the Silk Song. That's a wide enough range that it just might work out. But also with the pace we've been on, maybe not. Go. Go, Mikhail. Go. I skipped the bar. People used to say the same about DNF. It's true. He's not wrong, chat. Nintendo said they're not doing pre-orders for the US. Did they? I didn't hear about that. Hold on, now I have to look into this. Is this true? Chat, is this real?
Well, that was impressive. You have earned your reward. And your freedom.
I saw it too. Really? Switch to pre-order. Oh. Okay, they delayed the pre-order period in the US. Nintendo will update timing at a later date. The launch date of June 5th is unchanged. Okay. So I guess they're basically just waiting to see if the tariffs are gonna go down or go away before release so that they can put pre-orders up then. Interesting. Probably a smart move on their part, to be honest. I wonder if... I mean, these systems are almost certainly being sold at profit, if you ask me, with the pricing they have. So I don't know if it's really like a necessary move from them, but it's probably a smart move. More or less reasonable. I don't know if it is, but it again, it depends on... We kind of just have to get the system and actually get like performance benchmarks firsthand. Because it's really, really hard to gauge the strength of the system right now from what we know. Wait a minute. Chat, what is this happening here? What is this? Oh, it's a little off center, isn't it? I can switch to this real quick. Display capture, hello? Oh, it's because of that. What is this? What is that? Zanyverse 2010, a gaming retrospective. Premiering right now, by the way. Oh, it's back. Interesting. Interesting. Anyway. It's hard to say if the $450 price tag is justified or not until we really know what it's packing. I got up to like 6K, so I'm going to go back to the campaign. I got a good chunk of money.
Resident Evil.
All those gaming PCs, those tablet PCs that like Asus is making, doing all the things the Switch 2 is doing first. It's basically a portable PS4 Pro. That's kind of the question mark. Because that's what I'm saying. It is, we don't know what it's running. We know what Nintendo says it's running. But we also know that Nintendo historically exaggerates performance, particularly with the Switch 1. So I'm not jumping at the opportunity to take them at their word for it. I'm gonna wait. It seems like it might be worth the price. I bet you are. But I'm waiting. Nintendo said 10 times the performance of the Switch. Did they actually? I didn't catch that. More powerful than a Steam Deck by a good bit? Is it? I thought it was going to be less powerful than the Steam Deck. Mostly just because of the things that the Steam Deck is capable of running, but I might just be mistaken on that. Hamburger and poutine? From where? McDonald's? 16 times the detail vibe. They said in an interview, or they confirmed it has DLSS and ray tracing. So it's running NVIDIA hardware? It would have to be. Because DLSS is exclusively NVIDIA. That's a plot twist. I didn't know about this. Oh, I just got to the clock tower. Okay. Had NVIDIA Switch 1. Was the Switch 1 NVIDIA?
Carlos!
Phew. Well, we both managed
They
to
used
survive.
AMD. I was like, I don't remember
Maybe
them
we can
using
start helping each
NVIDIA
other
for the
again.
first one.
Yeah, it's been rough. But we can rest now.
I just had to Google poutine, Canadian
No.
cuisine. You can get it in the
Once
northern
left,
US,
there's no
but
rest for the wicked. Here's a gift.
it's few and far between. It's basically a Canadian thing. Delicious. So good. Still waiting on some Giga Chad to make a thing that lets Radeons use DLSS somehow. It should be possible. Well, I guess it might not be. I would hope that it's possible. That someone could, like, fucking mod DLSS into AMD hardware. That would be crazy. Poutine is really good. I've heard the legends of poutine being available at McDonald's. It is NVIDIA. Really? That's wild. I thought for sure they... Console manufacturers don't typically like NVIDIA. So that's so weird to me that Nintendo has been using NVIDIA hardware for a bit. Granted, pretty bottom of the barrel NVIDIA hardware, but NVIDIA hardware. I hear another one. Oh my god, it's literally right there. I couldn't see him in the last angle. I was like, where is he? I hear another one. Was pretty baller in 2015. Yeah. What year is it? For some reason, Apple hates NVIDIA. Most hardware manufacturers don't typically go with NVIDIA just because it's expensive. Because, like, the thing that I always say with why I buy NVIDIA GPUs is, like, I need that crazy juiced out performance for work stuff. So I buy the hardware that can do the crazy juiced out performance stuff, right? But if you were trying to, like, keep your costs low and get bang for your buck, you would not be buying NVIDIA hardware. Well, unless it's like the 30 series. The 30 series when it came out was pretty great value, admittedly. But for the most part, you would not be buying NVIDIA hardware for, like, bang for your buck, right? If you want a good, like, cost to performance ratio, you go elsewhere. You do not go NVIDIA. But if all you need is just, I need this to be really strong, that's when NVIDIA is the GOAT. For raw power, AMD is the GOAT. For raw power to price, AMD is the GOAT. But again, like, if you're literally just looking for raw power without, like, factoring in ray tracing and stuff, I believe, I'm not overly familiar with the 50 series and how that all ended up breaking down. I just haven't really looked into it. Because frankly, I don't care. I know I'm not buying one, so I'm kind of just like, I don't need to know. But I think the 4090 has the most raw power on the market still. Which, you know, $2,000 GPU, you'd fucking hope so. But I'm pretty sure it does. I know the 4080 is still like number 3 in raw power or something. Again, before 50 series. I said still, but that's bad choice of words. Has very bad lows. Yeah, that's why I'm avoiding the 50 series. Also because it's primarily, what's it? Relying on upscaling and everything to really hit those performance highs. I'm not interested. I need the raw power. I don't want like artificial frames and performance. I don't care. Don't you have a GeForce 2080 Ti? I have a 4080. I'll likely go AMD unless things really change. I think AMD for most gamers is the better play because just you get more bang for your buck. Like the value proposition is much better with AMD. '50 series will be great in like 6 months. Even then, I don't think it really will be because the drivers aren't what's holding back the 50 series. What's holding back the 50 series is the over-reliance on upscaling. The drivers are just another issue on top. But like people like me pretty much immediately wrote off the 50 series because it's all based on AI upscaling tech, which means nothing if you're using it for like actual work PC shit, right? It's great for gaming, but literally nothing else. Like outside of gaming, reliance on upscaling serves zero purpose. So people in positions like mine just immediately were like, nope, sticking to the 40s. Wait for the 60s, see what happens. And the 50 series has generally blown up in their face pretty hard. I bet they're gonna dial it back on the upscaling shit after this gen, for sure. Not necessarily dial it back as in use it less, but at the very least, not invest more in it. Has more memory, faster memory. Yeah, but for work PC stuff, VRAM isn't... Well, VRAM is very rarely an issue. And that's coming from someone who edits with a program that, what's it? Renders on the GPU to make things faster on high-end rigs. And even for me, like, I'm not even getting close to VRAM being an important factor for my workflow. Yeah, unless you have, like, very little VRAM, it's not really something to consider all that much. VRAM, once you're above, like, 8 gigs, is mostly a gaming metric. Well, unless you're doing, like, 3D animation or something. In that case, the VRAM is an important factor, for sure. But for what I do, VRAM is not important. I should clarify. Oh, I have to do the puzzle. I'm like, what the fuck? I was forgetting where I was supposed to go, but I hadn't done this yet. "96 gigs of unified memory? What the fuck are you doing with 96 gigs of memory? What the fuck are you using that memory for?" Oops, I meant to say next. Yeah, I know that you're talking both CPU and GPU, but what the fuck are you using that for? Future-proof? I mean, sure, but like my future-proof rig is currently 32, and then just I've got more slots. I have 2 more like open RAM slots that I can just, you know, stick it in, get up to 64 once I need it. Oh, I got one wrong because I was yapping. One of those is not right. I heard it. Hold on. It's the second to last one. I fucked it up. God damn it. It has to play the whole thing again. And you can no longer use overcooked memory profiles. Yeah, true. Intel shit. Which is why I'm waiting until I need it. Like, otherwise, I would just be like, oh yeah, slot in the 2 extra sticks now. Why not? It's cheap to get memory anyway nowadays, but not with the current Intel issues. Thank you, 13th gen processor. Shit's powerful though. So long as you know, keep it within the conditions it works within, which are oddly specific. But if you keep it within those conditions, it's a fucking monster still. Dedicated wham. Is your PC pre-built? No. No, I built it. I would not buy a pre-built. And I wouldn't recommend that anyone buy a pre-built. You get fucked in the ass buying a pre-built. Pricing wise. Sorry, that was aggressive. You get fucked over buying a pre-built. That was a bit aggressive on my end. My bad. Buying like all of the parts yourself and then paying for like a build service, if you're really afraid of building your own PC, that's a solid route, because the build service is gonna cost probably like, I don't know, at least last that I heard. I just blew myself up. Oh my god, am I dead? I'm so dead. If you're that afraid of building your own PC, I think that a build service, if you already get all the parts yourself, should only cost you like $200 or so, generally speaking. That could be like an outdated number. I'm not sure. But should only be about 200. So like that's expensive, but it's not like buying from a pre-built company where they're going to charge you like $500 or more extra. It's fucked up. Don't buy from pre-built companies, in my opinion, until I get sponsored by one. Don't buy from them. How much they upcharge you for pre-builts? No, the pre-builts are so much worse. I ain't got time for that. Yeah, Jess, wait. Jess, do you know how much your PC cost in USD? Because I know what you've got. Your PC is about mine. Probably, like, the parts themselves would have cost, like, 150 USD more than mine. Do you know how much you paid for it? Would you be willing to share, for sake of example? Because that would be a great example. Like, I know about how much your PC should have cost. Ellie, I say should have. I know how much your hardware would have cost. Like, before, you know, the pre-built company charges for the build service and takes their cut and all that. I have more RAM, though. Yeah, I'm factoring that in. Thank you, False. That was the good one. You guys are lucky today. Got the good one. Remember when RAM numbers were a flex back in the day?
Carlos!
Whew. Well, we both managed to survive. Maybe we can start helping each other again.
Yeah, it's been rough. But we can rest now.
No, we're the only ones left.
Did I tell
There's
you
no
guys
rest
that, what's it?
Here's a gift for you.
That I recently played through Crisis Remastered in my free time, like over the course of a few weeks on my PC. Relived the Can It Run Crisis days by just maxing out the remaster that really doesn't look that much better, but it was nice. The lighting looked better and stuff for sure. Let's watch the MGS series. Loved it. Thank you. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Have to ask my husband how much it was. Oh, God. Will you be doing the X2 campaign with co-op? The first time through, no. The thing with X2's campaign, I looked at the medals ahead of time, right? A lot of the medals for X2 are built around co-op requirements, like co-op specific things. So we're going to have to at some point, but for just like playing through it the first 1 to maybe 3 times, I don't know. I'll probably just do it solo, like I did for the review. Ace Combat X2. Otherwise known as Joint Assault. Pulls chat ratting me out. Yeah, you guys have the streamer view of my chat when I'm doing 4x3, because instead of doing like all the graphic design stuff again to make a nice on-screen chat, I literally just said, you know what? I already have this nice custom chat box. Let me just throw it on screen in the empty space. So you're literally just seeing like my POV of chat on 4x3 days. So it's going to rat you out. It also rats out the mods when they like time people out. Like if either of you want to give someone like a quick 10-second timeout for the sake of science, you'll see the funny thing with my chat. People have seen it already, but I don't know if the mods have seen it happen because we haven't had many timeouts or anything lately. Uh-oh. There we go, a couple random timeouts from the mods. You see what it says? Because it's kind of scuffed, because it's custom and I didn't bother polishing it all that much. It just says banned. Like, those are just 10-second timeouts, but they just straight up say banned because I didn't polish it. They're not actually banned. It's just like a little tiny timeout. I couldn't resist. Friendly fire. That's also why moderators are highlighted, because I just have that on my end so that if they're saying anything important, it sticks out extra. Sorry, all my non-moderators. Hold on, I gotta scroll back up because I missed a couple things. Ace Combat did release as Air Combat. The first Ace Combat game on PS1 in the West was called Air Combat, because it was based off of an arcade game that, in the West, again, was originally called Air Combat. Also, Dino Crisis, maybe someday. Maybe. We'll see. I was going to do it to Sticky first, but he has managing mods, so I couldn't. What weapons did you use to beat Zenaida? I don't know. They were definitely laser weapons. Like laser rifles. I don't think... I might have run the Shade. I don't recall, though. I think one of them was like a double beam laser weapon of some kind. But I don't know specifically. Man, Last Raven was a minute ago. Playing that on stream. Oh my god. Okay. 40-30 at current exchange rates. Let me
I
just...
got so excited I shot a load, my bad.
Let me adjust for inflation. You said 4030? Oh shit. Can I reverse that? The calculator that I found, I accidentally just punched in like 4030 in 2023. Okay, well, let's be generous and say that it was like 3,800 USD. Right? My build, that's a little below Jess's, so I think add like about $200 for the extra memory and the slightly more expensive processor that she has. My build that I'm running right now was 2,600. Just buying the parts myself and building it myself. If I add even $300 to be extra safe to Jess's build, say that it should have cost like 2,900 if you just bought it yourself. Adjust for inflation, around that time you would have spent about 3,800 on that PC. So unless you got like some crazy shit in there that I'm not factoring in right now, like that I'm forgetting, big upcharge, massive upcharge on that. Wait a minute, Jess, you have a 4090, right? Wait. Do you guys have 80s or 90s? I think you have 90s, don't you? Wait a minute. Hold on now. Did I forget that I forgot to factor in, I think you guys have 4090s, not 80s. She has a 4080. Are you sure? I feel like now I'm suddenly like, wait a minute, I thought it was a 4090 and I might have forgotten that. Nope. It's a 4080, okay. So yeah, that's the build service upcharging. Because they don't just charge for the build service, they also just generally take a cut for things like sourcing the parts for you. Obviously, they want to make a little bit of profit off of each of those parts. So build services from like pre-built, sorry, I said build services. Not build service in the sense that you buy the parts and then like bring them to your local PC shop and have them build it. But it like pre-built companies, you get upcharged a lot. Not sure if they just divide the amount between the two on the invoice. Can't remember. Wait, you're saying it was 40... Or sorry, you're saying it was about 4,000 for both of them? That can't be right. That can't be right. Each. Okay. I was gonna say. Maybe they did that? I don't know. It's possible. Because that, like, obviously they upcharge a good bit, but it seems wrong. Even if I just round up and say that your build would have cost 3,000, like round up even more from already rounding up from my estimate. Even if I did that, then like assuming that you still got upcharged like $800 sounds like it was too much of an up. Like that sounds not right. Right? Could be, but that sounds insane to say out loud. Spent $350 chasing out my fans. Oh. It's probably worth it, but ow. But yeah, I saw someone question mark the 2.6 for even mine. You want to know what the big thing with that was? The GPU alone, Like, just the 4080 on its own was 1500. Nvidia moment. You bought the 4080 when it was at like its peak price though? No. That was after the scalping had chilled out. That was just MSRP. The MSRP for the 4080 was 1500. The MSRP for the 4090 was 2000. It was an expensive gen. But I mean, hey, this, or rather the 4090, but also kind of the 4080, the way that things are looking right now, they might just go the way of like the 1080 Ti from back in the day and be some of the most powerful GPUs for like the next 8 years. Because shit. The 50 series, in terms of raw power, like you take out the AI upscaling and stuff, the 50 series is not as powerful as the 40s, like the high end of the 40s. So it might be one of those situations, genuinely. Those benchmarks are crazy, by the way. Like Digital Foundry stuff that they did where they benchmarked like the most demanding games on the 4090 and the 5090, and then like the 4080 to the 5080. Wait, 50? There is a 5090, right? Or am I misremembering? Basically, they just compared them 1-to-1 between the two gens, but they did it first with all the like DLSS 4 and stuff like that factored in, and then they turned off the DLSS 4. Like they turned off upscaling on both cards to compare them then without the AI stuff, and the 40 series won, like across the board, which is crazy. Because just in raw power, the 40 series is stronger than the 50 series. The 50 series is all AI. It's wild. It was a great Digital Foundry breakdown. I loved that one. Very entertaining. Very entertaining. Crazy moves from Nvidia, but made for great Digital Foundry content. Can't find confirmation. I don't know how much my laptop would have cost because I got it provided through work. But I can imagine that at the time that I got it, it would have been fucking expensive. Like the laptop that I have cannot have been cheap. Ooh. Because my laptop has a, it's a fucking bulky laptop, by the way. This thing is like a goddamn brick shithouse. My laptop has a 2080 Super in it. And I got it in 2020, at the end of 2020. So I think that's pre-30 series, or maybe the 30 series had just come out. Love the AR. Was able to run Veilguard on it, no problem. Wow. Did you stream on your laptop? I still stream on my laptop right now. I run a dual PC setup where I'm gaming on the juiced out rig, and then all of the video and audio gets sent to the laptop's OBS, and the laptop's OBS is what's encoding the video and actually sending it out. That's still what I do. Oh, I'm poisoned. Son of a bitch. The 4 terabyte SSD was a big expense. I have big SSDs in the new build. Use my laptop as a glorified chat screen. Don't you have A dual monitor setup, Jess? Having Jess and Ryan in here for the PC talk makes it all ridiculous because they both have juicer PC shit. Our scale, we're like at Dragon Ball Super power scaling right now. Like the current manga power scaling, I mean. A lot of people probably thought Tournament of Power when I said that, and even then, that power scaling was ridiculous, but where the manga is right now, holy fuck. Don't have kids, y'all. Hey, it's tempting. If not having kids means that I'll have that much disposable income, it's a tempting proposition, I have to say. Plus, I'm 22. The idea of having children does not sound great right now. Gotta say. God damn it. Thinking my RX 7700 XT build I got planned will be a behemoth. I mean, relative to like what you're running, it definitely will be, and it will, to you, absolutely like be what you need, and it will feel like a behemoth, right? And even then, budget builds, there's nothing wrong with a good budget build. There's really not. Oh, is that it? Yes. And I'm just irresponsible with money. I'm great with money. God bless whoever ends up with me. Long term. They're gonna have to get used to me every single time any significant amount of money is being talked about, just being like, what? What are you saying? Stop. Stop. Slow down. They're gonna have to sit me down for any discussion that involves spending more than like $100. They're gonna have to make sure I'm not standing up before they say it. I hate spending money so much. Like on anything that's not essential, I fucking hate spending money. Good habit on paper. Not such a fun habit. But, on paper, good habit. You won't even buy an egg boiler? Hey, don't even talk to me about egg boilers today. Have you heard what the stock market did this morning? Well, okay, pause, rewind. Have you heard what the stock market did yesterday? And as a follow-up, have you heard what it then did this morning? 2 days in a row. Bad. Real bad. Really fucking bad. Hold on. Let me see. I won't talk raw number, but I'll talk... Okay, here. My portfolio, as of right... I just watched it go down further in real time. My portfolio, as of this moment in the day... He liberated you from your money. Yeah, he really did. My entire stock portfolio today is down 4.78% of its total value from where it was at 8 a.m. this morning. So relative to where it was this morning after a huge market crash yesterday afternoon, just today, it is now down a further 4.84% from 8 a.m. 4.83. Wait a minute. 4.82. We're going back up, boys. We're gonna be fine. We're gonna be fine. 4.81? Can I get a 4.8? Can we go back? Can we go back? 4.78? We're going up. We're climbing. We're climbing. 4.74? 4.73? Come on. Come on. Keep going. 4.7? Come on. 4.69. We're going. We're going. I'm making my money back. 6.7. Bro thinks he's in Wall Street. I'm just watching it because I pulled it up now. 4.68. We're going back down. Fuck my life. It's over. It's over. 6.9. I'm closing this. It's gonna go back down further. Precarious position. Why? Why? Is it because my shoulders popped out? You probably can't even see it. Have I feel like I know I've mentioned it on stream before. I don't think I've brought it up in a minute. Did anyone know that both of my shoulders, when I put my arm over my head, my shoulder comes out of the socket? Like just straight, it pops out to like extend. Both of my arms do it. And I can pop my shoulders in and out at will. Without like needing to touch it or anything. Like it's out right now. It's in. It's out. It's in. Resemble
I done forgot.
No,
because all the
my arm was up here. What you're thinking of involves the arm going out. My arm was up here, like way right above my head, directly above my head. Completely different. MILF Hunter of Wall Street. Well, I gotta say, boys, I did get paid out a $13 dividend this morning, at the very least. So that makes up for everything. Clearly. It's out, it's in. It's out, it's in. That one kind of hurt. The second one. Sometimes it kind of hurts, but it's... Holy cow, $13 of passive income. I know. That position pays me like $13 a month. I know, it's crazy. This is what the crypto bros have dreamed of. You know how you do it? You don't do it in crypto. You do it elsewhere. Passive income in crypto is a myth. Don't listen to them. Take it from someone who paid their student debt in crypto. It's a myth. I've been there, done that. I understand how it works. It doesn't work like that. I think the egg boiler was $10. It was $8.
We're saved. Down here! It's finally over.
My husband got an egg boiler, then he stopped eating eggs. See, false? See? Told you it was a bad idea. It'll kill your love of eggs. How much you got to invest to live off of dividends, though? Okay. Purely off of dividends? I got like $2. Is that enough to invest? It's a start. Better than zero. Okay, so let's say you're investing in like a monthly pay, let's say 6% annual yield stock. So all that means is that in a year, you will make back 6% on your investment, and it pays out every month because some of them pay out quarterly, some of them pay out monthly, and very recently, some covered call ETFs have started paying out weekly, but that seems kind of... We'll see how that plays out long term. That's very new that started like coming onto the scene. The weekly pay dividend stocks. I haven't touched them yet. So let's say like 6% yield, annual yield on a monthly pay dividend stock. If you're looking to, this is for the US, right? Because I live in the US, so I understand US living expenses and, what's it? Yes, 0.5% a month. I understand living expenses and the stock market as it pertains to the US. So if you're not from the US, this might not apply as one-to-one, obviously, but for the US, if you want to be able to pay your month purely off of dividend income, like every month, if you wanted to like pay rent, average rent of like 12 to 1400, let's say it's a one bed, you probably are going to need about 300,000 invested in something like that total, like portfolio value. With 6% yield paid monthly, you're probably looking at about 300K to be able to pay your rent. To be able to pay like full living expenses month to month, you're probably looking at like 600-700K. And that sounds daunting, right? Incredibly daunting. But like,
Carlos?
think about it, right? That's, if you start early and you just build and build and build, you can eventually get to that point.
I've been infected by the
A lot
virus.
of people say
Haven't
that growth stocks are more worth it when you're young. I certainly think there's a lot of value to that. I'm not a financial advisor. I just do this myself,
any pain.
sharing my experience and my thoughts,
that's what
not
bothers me.
advising.
If I can't feel
Um,
anything, then what does that mean?
Isn't now technically a good time to buy as everything is tanking? Now is a good time to buy if you cash average your investments. Meaning, if you like take an amount for the month that out of your budget you can afford to invest, right? And instead of investing that all at once, I do recommend this. Again, not a financial advisor. Do not come after me legally, but I think cash averaging at a time where the market is correcting like it is right now is a great play. Basically what it means is take that total amount that you can invest for like the month out of your budget, and instead of investing it all right now, invest it pretty much evenly, like over the course of every business day for the month. I explained that terribly. Hold on. My brain was on the game. Start over. Take your amount for the month, divide it up so that you have an even amount for every business day of the week. For the month, sorry, every business day for the month, and invest an even amount every day across the month. And that is how you will find long-term success during a market correction. Because if you try to time it, the great chance that it can go down further, right? But if you invest like an even amount daily across the entire market correction and then let it sit for like years, then long term you're going to win. Unless you believe that the US economy is going to continue to downtrend for years. But even then, I would probably still invest because I invest for long term. My savings, like my emergency fund and everything, I have those set aside. My investments are for more long-term savings beyond like the next 5 to 10 years of my life, right? My savings are like my investments are my long-term plays. Personally. Where did your money go? I got advice from a streamer named Chole. But yeah, not a financial advisor, but if you do want to start investing during a market correction like this, I think cash averaging for long-term investments is a great way to do it. Because if you go all in at once, then you might see it go further down. You might get emotional seeing that, especially if you're new to investing. You might be like, oh shit, I'm losing my money, and you're going to sell, and then you're not going to have made anything. You'll have just lost money. That's the other thing. If you're investing long-term, it's long-term. Don't sell it when it goes down. Like, don't see it go down and immediately sell it. I haven't sold a thing. This entire correction, I haven't sold a single thing. Because all of my investments are long-term. I don't try to time the market. Just invest in the German arms industry. What could possibly go wrong? What could go? Oh, wrong auto aim. I almost just blew myself up again. As I do. Trading is better. Sell goods. Depends. Because like for long-term stuff, what I like doing is I like dividends. I'm not investing in dividends in the sense of like, I want to be able to live completely off of dividends in the next 5 years of my life. But I invest in them a little bit because it's like a nice security net almost. Where it's like, even if this ETF goes down, because I also only invest in ETFs, really. I don't like single stocks all that much because they're fairly risky. I like ETFs. Which, if you're not as familiar with how the market works, is like a collection of a bunch of different stocks. So instead of buying like just one stock in Tesla and Microsoft separately and banking on those two companies being successful, I could instead use that same amount of money to invest in like an ETF that is the entire S&P 500 and buy a tiny piece of all of like the top 500 most successful companies in America. And then my portfolio value is averaged out across those 500 companies. Or at least my holding there is averaged out, because unless that's your entire portfolio, it's not your portfolio value. I'm not great at explaining these things verbally. But I like going for the safer plays that are going to generate income long term, rather than, you know, trying to make an investment that like next week is going to make me rich, because 99 out of 100 times that 1 week play is going to lose you money instead of make you money. There's a chance you could win. It's not a great chance. You can have really, really good chances of winning long term if you're just patient. Like amazing chances at winning long term if you just use a little restraint, go for the slow play. Try to build wealth over the next couple decades of your life rather than over the next week. You'll find a lot more success like that, generally speaking. It's a long-term play. In my opinion, if you get into investing trying to make like short-term income, you're going to lose. It really is glorified legal gambling. So if you go for like the high risk, high reward stuff, you're probably gonna lose money. I just want to make some extra scratch breeding and selling shrimp. As funny as that message is, genuinely, the way that I treat it is like I have my main income. It's consistent, it's steady. I have that, that's like my main thing. And then my investments are the extra thing off to the side that if I just put a little into that, like every week for the whole next decade, that's gonna bring more income than not doing it would. Granted, I give up some of my income short term, but I have more long term when I'm old and tired and jaded. What was that number? Was it 325? I already forgot. And I don't want to work anymore. It's retirement money. Yes, I'm thinking about retirement at 22.
Don't shoot! No!
I'm already done. I'm already sick of this shit.
Still alive?
You saw what happened?
I bought 2 shares in this oil digging company for testing. The next week, the company went bankrupt.
One of the supervisors.
That's why I don't love single stocks.
Wait!
I like a good diversified holding. I love the S&P 500. Just that sort of ETF investing is, for growth stocks, what I would go for. Personally. I say what I would go for. That is what I go for. Not what I would, that is what I do. Doesn't have anything. I wish I could retire like right now. Would be the dream. Play RuneScape for the rest of my days. I got that weird work bug in me where I'm like, oh, I don't have to work anymore. What should I do? Go mine gold for income in RuneScape. Basically just go work in RuneScape. Doesn't feel like work. It's RuneScape is a weird game. Magical game though. All-nighter RuneScape when I'm retired. Absolutely. Was it 325? It was. These days, retirement is an illusion. I think it's only an illusion if you just don't prepare accordingly. And obviously, the sooner you start preparing, the better. I think that we had a retirement system that was basically set up as like, if you give it even a modicum of attention, it will work for you. But that system only worked very briefly for like 2 generations of people, and now we're already seeing that system just not work anymore. So at this point, it's kind of more on you to prepare, which at the age of 22 and having already realized that and started preparing, I'm fine with. But it's definitely, it's more of a hassle to actually prepare for it properly now. I've been summoned. What, by RuneScape mention? Thoughts and opinions on low-carb diets? They're fine. They're not all they're made up to be. They get played up, certainly. They're fine. I did low-carb for a while. For, like, 9 months. Because it was something that I was like, man, this is that one thing that has come around and seemed like a fad diet, but everyone still seems pretty big on it. So I tried it, and I lost some weight, but I didn't lose that much weight over the course of like 9 months. And when I changed from low carb back to just eating mostly okay, but also eating what I want and eating a lot of things like rice and whatever else. And just working out, and I've lost more weight doing that than doing low carb. I think low carb is fine. I think it definitely, one thing about low carb is that it's an easy way to lose weight while still feeling like you're eating a good amount of food. Like if part of your issue diet-wise is like self-control, and you can manage to do low carb, then it's good in that sense, because you can feel like you're eating a lot of food and still lose some weight. But generally speaking, just intake output. If you are relatively active, you calorie deficit, you get enough protein and carbs in, it's gonna work. It's just science. It's just basic science, right? Like, there's a reason that even after all of these fad diets have come and gone, the one thing that consistently works for everyone is just calorie deficit and like a decent amount of activity a week, and that'll do it. And just don't constantly eat like bullshit. It always works more than anything else. You seen much about the carnivore diet? Yeah, I wouldn't. I wouldn't. Because even the thing with the carnivore diet is that at least it's most popular, go figure, in like the, what's it? The like Sigma male niche, if you will. I don't know how else to refer to it. That side of the internet. The ironic thing about it is that a lot of those guys advertise it as being really good for like building that high testosterone Giga Chad male physique, like big muscular physique. They're like, if you work out and you carnivore diet, you're gonna be huge, you're gonna be massive. But the thing is, to build muscle, you also need to maintain like a good amount of carb intake. Carbohydrates are essential for building muscle. Like almost as much as protein is. Bull testicles all the way. I mean, but yeah. To maintain or build. Carbs are like the main player in repairing the muscle after you tear it. So if you want, well, you don't need the carbs, but if you want to efficiently build muscle, you're gonna need carbs because that's the only way that you're gonna be able to repair it quickly. If you want to lose weight, you have to get off dinner or whatever with still some hunger left. That was a big thing for me because I was fucking fat when I was a kid. The biggest thing for me in losing weight also was just not eating until I'm full when I eat. Like for me, that was the biggest thing I had to learn. Don't eat until you're full. Just eat a bit, wait a few minutes, see if you're still hungry. Because I used to eat like twice a day, and I would just eat until I was like full. You know the feeling. And learning to just not do that was big. Not wrong, but I've been living more or less paycheck to paycheck for my entire adult life. My retirement plan is to die in the coming climate wars. Yeah, it's... I know that it's rough if you don't get started, like, literally right away. Like, luckily I did. I don't know why I was so fixated on it at, like, 18, but literally, like, I started putting money away for emergency funds and investing, like, the moment I was able to. Emergency funds and stuff before that. You know, I started banking before I was 18, but investing and all that, I started literally at 18. I started like learning how to do it. Just all of it, like literally as soon as I could. And that's been a big factor as to why I've been able to do it as well. And it definitely gets harder the further out you are. But what I always say is like, literally, if you can just put a little bit, like just a little bit more into either like a high yield savings account, which is so easy. That's a big thing. If your savings account is not a high yield savings account, you're leaving money on the table. Because holy shit, I, not too long ago, switched to a genuine high yield savings account for like where I'm keeping my savings and my emergency fund. I moved banks. I can't believe that I didn't do that sooner.
Hey, are you okay?
And again, like I say this
Yes.
at 22 years old, and I'm like, holy shit,
What's going
why
on?
did I not do this before?
No way! That monster just doesn't
Because
give up.
my old savings account had
What?
like
We killed that
an
thing.
interest yield, an annual
No,
yield
it's
of
been waiting for you.
what's it?
He's playing with us.
The high interest yield,
Carlos,
or sorry, my
do
old
you
interest
think it's
yield
unstoppable?
was
I don't think
0.01%
so.
annually.
I'm sorry, Jill, but
So
I've got to
I
go
would
take care of
have-
a few things.
I remember
And
one year I had like my
Nikolai is
15,000 in savings sitting in there,
Are you
and I
sure?
got like 9 cents in interest
Yes.
at the end of the
I
year.
don't know how, but I
And
do
it's a
know
yearly,
that,
that is the one interest payment for
Remember,
the
don't
entire
trust
year
him.
with that bank. I got 9 cents. I remember that one so well, because that was when I first was like, maybe this high yield thing could be an attractive proposition. My new bank, like literally just, my new bank pays the interest monthly. Like the whole, not the whole annual yield, obviously, but like they pay monthly with it eventually building up to being their annual yield. They just average it out across the 12 months. And like the month just flipped over to April 1st and I got like an $80 deposit into my savings account. Just literally for having my savings with them instead of who I had it with before. And like when May comes around and April turns to May, it'll be another $80-ish deposited into my savings account. And it's genuinely been one of the biggest, like, why the fuck was I not doing this before things in my life, financially speaking. It has just so genuinely been like, what the fuck was I thinking? Because I had known about high yield savings account, but I was just like, oh, it's such a pain to move banks and but then I switch and I'm like, oh my God. Why? Yakuza 0 is gonna run at 4K 60 on Switch 2. Genuinely, how? Tibby, didn't Yakuza 0 come out in like 2015? I think it's 15. I would hope so. But in terms of banking fees, you can absolutely like look around with high yield savings, right? The bank that I found had some fees if you had like less money in the account or whatever, but I don't pay any banking fees with the one that I moved to. So genuinely, I would just like take a look around at the options if you've got like an hour out of your week. Just literally like look up best high yield savings banks and just take a look, see like what annual yields they have, what fees they might have for like how much you're gonna be holding in there. And I bet you'll be able to find something. It's absolutely worth just taking a look around. Because it really is, like, for me, the big thing was, it was genuinely just the difference of getting basically nothing versus getting something. Was when I ultimately was like, okay, I just need to move banks. I don't know why I've been so loyal to this bank for like the last 7 years, because frankly, they've done like nothing for me. I just need to move banks. And I did. And like, holy shit. I have negative regrets about it. I genuinely just feel like I should have done it 5 years ago. It was early 2015, okay. Oh my God. Oh, shit. Shit. I can't get through the door. Nemi's making me panic. Just got tricked by how good the game looks. Yeah, I would have hoped that it could run at 4K 60. God, it is already more than a decade old, huh? 2015 was kind of a crazy year for gaming. I feel like I don't think of 2015 as a crazy year, but just all the anniversaries that I've seen popping up lately, like on Twitter and stuff, for games released 10 years ago, have made me look back and be like, that was kind of a crazy year for games. And I just never really felt like it was. Oh my God. Black Ops 3 turns 10 years old this year. In my opinion, the best COD game. Don't at me. Or do. I will fiercely debate this. And I don't even like the multiplayer that much, but I will. Never played Yakuza, am I missing out? Yes. Yakuza has been one of those series that I've played lately. This has been a gaming, like, where have I been sort of moment. It was the Yakuza games. I really, really love the Yakuza games. And like with those, because I've played some other games for the channel that like I love them and I had never played them before. But I didn't get quite that feeling of like, oh my god, where was I? Like, what was I thinking not playing these? Because they just weren't popular. Like Armored Core, I fucking love Armored Core now. I have such a genuine passion for that series. But I don't feel like, what was I doing not playing these? Because you look back at the sales data for those games, and literally not a single game in that series sold more than 1 million copies before Armored Core 6 came out. Armored Core 6 still to date is the only one to have sold more than 1 million copies. So it's like, okay, was I missing out over the years? Yes. Do I even blame myself for not knowing that these games existed? Not really, no. Because apparently no one else knew. I say as a lot of people in my community found the channel from Armored Core and did know, but genuinely the amount of the gaming public that even knew that series existed, it was a very small portion. I have so many Steam games. Just feels overwhelming to get another game. Man, I'm telling you. Yakuza is something so special. Because, like, it's funny, too. Because there are parts of the Yakuza series that I'm like, man, this is, like, not great. But one of those things being, for example, Kiryu in Yakuza 1 through 4, and this was different if you play the Kiwami remakes, or like if you start with 0, like a bitch, sorry, you won't feel this, but if you play in release order like I do, or like I have rather, Kiryu's moveset, not only his moveset stayed the same in like Yakuza 1s through 4, like for 4 games straight, he just had the same moveset. But literally his animations stayed the same. Like the PS2 original released in 2005, all of those attack animations are still the ones that he was using in Yakuza 4, which came out in like 2011, I think, on PS3. Just for 6 years, they were like, yeah, we have Kiryu animations. They're fine. No need to make new ones. But even with stuff like that, the underlying game is still just so good that it feels like I'm nitpicking when I talk about stuff like that. Because the rest of the game outside of it is so good. Even though you look at Kiryu's moves in Yakuza 4 and you're like, that looks like jank. That is some PS2-ass animation work right there. The rest of the game is just so good that I can't even, like, really stay focused on it for more than, like, a minute. I just followed the numbers, so I started with 0. Like a bitch. Sorry, what? But then, if you start with 0 or the remakes, what happens to pretty much everyone that I hear about is it makes Yakuza 3, 4, and 5 all really hard to enjoy for a lot of people. Because they get used to, like, the production quality and just, I guess, the general quality of the later entries. And then suddenly have to jump back by, like, a decade, going from Kiwami 2 to Yakuza 3. And those games then feel like shit compared to the first 3. I haven't played the remakes or 0, so I don't know how much better or worse it really is, but that's what, like, everyone's universal experience that's been described to me seems to pretty much be that. And I've also heard that 0... Oh, I fucked it up. I've also heard that playing 0 before the rest of, like, the main numbered games, granted that came out before it, because, like, 6 came out after 0, but playing 0 before like 1 through 5 can remove some of the mysticism behind characters that are left more vague before that point in the story. I don't know if mysticism is the right word that I'm looking for, but you probably get what I'm trying to say. Man, there are 10 mainline games. That's a lot of mainline entries, especially for a series that only started in like 2005, right? Averaged out, that's a mainline game every 2 years consistently since the series inception, which is crazy when you say it like that. $10 Yakuza game, 10 mainline Yakuza games. But like for my series that I'm doing, it's gonna be a little over 20. And by the time that I'm done with it, they're gonna release a new one. They're just going to. They're definitely on pace to release another Yakuza game before I even get the series wrapped up. Pirate Yakuza probably won't be the finale. And even then, whatever is the finale will... Yeah, mystique. Sorry, not mysticism. Mystique is the word I was looking for. You're right. Like, some of the characters that are left a little more... like, vague. Just characters that aren't, like, super specifically laid out for you. And it's almost like... what's really the deal with this guy? I've heard that Zero does a lot of like explaining with stuff like that. And that then the reveal of like those characters being the way that they are in later titles is not something that you really get to appreciate in Zero because you haven't spent like 5 games with those characters already pre-reveal. That's what I've heard. I haven't played Zero yet. But I've had a lot of, like, diehard Yakuza fans in the comments being like, oh my god, I envy you for not starting with Zero because I wish I didn't. Which has led to me recommending that people don't, purely off of hearsay. But the sheer volume of people who are like, I wish I didn't start with Zero has made me... want to try to save people in the meantime, if it really is that big of a difference. I'm not that far off of Zero, so I'll find out soon enough. I think I'm... oh no, I am like 3 games off of Zero, actually. I was like, I'm pretty sure I'm like 2 games away, but no. I have Yakuza 5, and then Ishin, and then... Zero. I thought it was like Yakuza 5 and then Zero, but I was forgetting Ishin is in there. My fancy JP copy of Ishin, mind you. I went all out. I got the OG PS4 version to review. And I'm gonna do Ishin Kiwami. Purely because in Japan, it didn't release just as like a, hey, here's this game that you never got. They straight up threw the Kiwami tagline on it in Japan and advertised it as being like an equal remake to those of Kiwami 1 and 2. So I'm gonna review it like that. And we're gonna see. Cause that only makes it more interesting to me. I get curious about like, did this deserve that kind of marketing? It's an interesting question, at least for my nerd ass. I kind of regret playing Zero first too, but I don't think it's a big deal, really. Well, Tibby, you haven't played what games in the series? Have you played 4? I don't remember, but I know that there's a good portion of the series that you haven't played. Will it ruin the lore? No, it's not. From what I've heard, it's not that it will like ruin the total story for you, but it's more that like Zero's story is given in a way where you have like all this setup from the games that came before it, and there are like big reveals in Zero that are there for existing fans of the series that you won't be able to appreciate if you start with Zero. At least that's how it's been explained to me, pretty much. For some people, it is like, I just straight up was not able to play Yakuza 3, 4, or 5 because I got spoiled with the other games. I've had those comments too, where they were just like, I straight up could not stomach the earlier titles because they felt like a downgrade from what I had been playing. Like such a downgrade. Because apparently Zero is where like everything comes together from what people say. Again, haven't played it yet. But everyone always says that Zero is where like the Yakuza series really started cooking, like where it really brought all the ideas together and went crazy with it. So, from what I understand, a lot of that, like people not being able to even get through like 3, 4, and 5, is just because they get used to Yakuza when it's like firing on all cylinders and really at its best, and then have to go back to the like rough period of the series where they were still feeling things out a lot.
Mission terminated.
And if you start in that rough period and gain an appreciation for the series through that, you have no issue with it. Like, I played Yakuza 3, I loved it. Yakuza 3 is one of the most controversial entries in like the modern fandom because a lot of fans nowadays started with either Zero or Kiwami. So when they go back to play Yakuza 3, they're like, I don't like this. This is shit. But I played only like 1, 2, and Kenzan before it. So when I got to Yakuza 3, it was like, oh my god, this is Yakuza 2, but better. But for a lot of fans, it's like, oh, this is Yakuza, but shit.
Our employers wanted the detailed analysis of the zombie beings, which was
So Yakuza 3 was great for me. Same with 4. I loved Yakuza 4, but for a lot of fans playing it in like chronological order, they think that those are like the bad games.
Exactly. Although the conditions
The mini games were hard to go back to. Yeah, see, that's the thing too. Like the mini games to me feel great in like Yakuza 3 or 4.
To collect live data from the subjects.
I have no frame of reference for the later stuff. I just know how the minigames felt on PS2. And then I got to Yakuza 3, and they felt so much better that to me, they basically feel like butter. Is Kiwami 3 confirmed? Kiwami 3, the public statement on it is the brand director for the Yakuza games said in an interview, yeah, I think we're going to do Kiwami 3, but I don't know when we're going to do Kiwami 3. And that interview was from like last March, I think, like March 2024. So it's kind of confirmed, but it's confirmed in the sense of like, we're gonna do it, we just don't know when. It's confirmed as like a long-term thing, but not something that we'll see soon. And yeah, there are more Yakuza games outside of those. Those are the mainline games that cover Kiryu's story. But then after 6, they made a couple more that Kiryu's not the main character in, and those are also on Steam. And then there's also a bunch of spin-offs on Steam that aren't in that bundle either, that aren't tied to the mainline story. The series is really big. But as always, and especially from what I've heard from like first-hand accounts of people who have been longtime fans, it seems like release order is the safest way to go with Yakuza. Oh god. I'm typically a bit of a release order purist, but sometimes I'm like, okay, I could see not doing it for this series or that series. Like Armored Core, not super necessary. Ace Combat, no. Metal Gear, yes. Do not play Metal Gear out of order, my opinion. Resident Evil, maybe. Depends. Resident Evil's a bit iffier. Because Resi is like, some people aren't going to want to play the survival horror games. So in that case, like, yeah, just play like RE4 and 5 and whatever. Some people aren't going to want to play the action horror games, so it's like, okay, sure, skip those. But some series, it's like, no, this, I feel very strongly, this is a release order only sort of deal. And Metal Gear is one of them. Yeah, Metal Gear out of release order is super fucky. I don't recommend that anyone does that. Like, again, if it's one of those things where you're like, I just want to play like one Metal Gear game, then sure, just play whatever. Obviously. But if you're like, I want to experience the Metal Gear series and like the overall story across all of the games, then you need to play those games in the order that the story was told, rather than like when the games take place. Metal Gear in chronological order would genuinely make you go insane. It's why Metal Gear has a reputation for being confusing, is because so many people started in release order. Or sorry, not in release order, in chronological order. It's genuinely where it got that reputation. Because if you play Metal Gear in release order, it all actually makes perfect sense. Like, legitimately, it makes so much sense if you play the games in release order. But if you play like MGS3 first, MGS3 has like references to MGS 1 and 2 in it, and also has a reference to the original MSX Metal Gear in it. And so if you start with MGS3, there are some plot points in MGS3 that just straight up don't make sense. Because the pieces of the puzzle that you're supposed to have by that point, so to speak, you don't have, right? I'm thinking of getting into DMC release order. Yes, DMC's story is not why you should play them. So absolutely release order for DMC. DMC is all about the gameplay. The story's there, the story's fun, but it's mostly a gameplay thing. So starting with the least polished games and working your way up will just be the most enjoyable way. As long as you skip 2, now real men play DMC 2. The Giga Chads S-rank it. I would know. Need I pull up my DMC2 rank sheet? It's not complete, but even what's there is enough to make any woman's legs start shaking, I'm telling you. All those DMC2 S ranks, they're crazy. And that's not one of the craziest things I've said on stream in a minute. DMC Devil May Cry is awful. DMC. Here's the thing about DMC. The story is awful. The gameplay is great. Like, unironically, the gameplay is really good in DMC. It's different. And there are some questionable decisions here and there, but like on the whole, the reboot has awesome gameplay. So like, if you just, like, for me, DMC's story is fun, but it's not why I'm playing DMC. So I like the reboot. I don't mind it because it plays well and it's fun. Plus, it's funny to laugh at. Because like when Virgil says things like, I have the bigger dick, you know, literally comparing the size of his dick to his twin who's in the same room as him. It's just so stupid that like it's funny. Like, you laugh. Not because you're laughing with the game, but you're like, why the fuck did they think that was funny? Why did they leave that in? That is so dumb. Which is fun. Mr. Chris Crumb, thank you for the follow. Appreciate it. I like DMC Reboot in a very different way than I like most DMC games, but I like it. Actually. Okay, well, this has to move at least once. Twice. And then what if... Oops, no, I didn't mean to press that. It's not ready! Oh, the top row can't be right either. Definitive is okay. I only have played the original. I have not played the definitive because it's not on PC. Because mid-2010s Capcom. The original's fine. It's not great, but the original's fine. There are certainly questionable design decisions in that game. And we all, if you know the game, you know exactly what I'm thinking of. It's the same reason that he said that definitive is the good version and the original's not so good. Like, it's one of those, if you know the game, you know exactly why we say that. Even then, it's not enough to, like, bring the original version down to being not good, right? Like, it's more of an occasional annoyance than anything. Doesn't Virgil have a fedora in the reboot? He does literally wear a trench coat and a fedora in the reboot, yes. Yes. No knocking fedoras. I have one too. I should buy one. The question is, how often do you wear your fedora? That really is the determining factor.
Rescuing you is becoming a full-time job.
Thanks, Carlos. I owe you.
Cowards removed the fedora.
They're going to launch a missile directly into the city as soon as day breaks.
Who's getting remastered? I've played Onimusha 1 and 2.
But that's only...
I like them.
I know.
I
We don't have much time
love
left.
Onimusha, but like they're charming.
We have to split up and find a way out of here.
They're solid.
And hey,
2's pretty
watch out for
good.
that traitor Nikolai.
One is good. One has spirit. But it's not amazing. I'm just excited that Onimusha's coming back though. Because 2 was really good. So if they could just do that again, I would be really down for more of that. And the trailer, like the little gameplay snippets they were showing of the new one, looked awesome. I haven't played Onimusha in a really long time though. Because I think I played them... I remember why I played them. It's because Jared covered them. And I was like, oh, these look cool. I've never heard of these. And so I checked them out. And that was probably a long time ago. I have to go to his channel now. Hold on. Let me look for the Onimusha videos. Oh, not as long ago as I thought. It was in 2021. And I was like, yeah, these look kind of sweet. And I checked them out. I liked the first 2, but then I stopped there. I think I just was playing other stuff at the time. I don't think I stopped because I wasn't enjoying them or anything. Just I got distracted by other games, I'm pretty sure. So many games to play in such a short life, I know. It's wild. And just always new cool games coming out too, right? Just a constant flow of new games that I also want to play. I've skipped a lot of games that I would have checked out in the last couple of years just because I've been so busy doing all the completion stuff and the review series and such. I've skipped some games. Games that I'm going to play at some point, like Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. I had to just be like, you know what? I don't got time for this right now. Gotta wait. Oh yeah, the new God of Wars are actually on like my list of things that I haven't played yet that I wanted to, that I meant to, but that I just haven't found time to yet. Those are some of them for me too. 2018 and Ragnarok are both on Steam now, which is what I was waiting for. And like Spider-Man 2 is on PC now. Haven't gotten to that yet. I really want to. I love Insomniac's Spider-Man games.
Nikolai?
I just need to. Now that Last of Us 2 is on PC, I'll play it someday. I'm in no rush. I'm really not in any rush to get to Last of Us 2, because I'm not the biggest fan of the first one, as many people know. I'm fairly vocal about it. It's not like it's a bad game, it's just a boring game. I've done this whole spiel before. Great story, boring ass game to actually play. God, I have so many greens. Here, we're doing it. We're doing it again. Check that out. Boom. They're kind of short, so they can be completed very easily. It's true. They're not that long, which is nice. See you around. Oh my god, we did this whole thing where I really learned, I figured out how to pronounce it and I forgot. Was it we Sam? I remember it sounded wrong to me when I first said it. I was like, that can't be right. But then everyone was like, no, that's right. That is actually correct. We'll see you around. It is. See? I was like, I knew it was something that sounded like it couldn't be right to me. We'll see you around. What's the perfect length for a game campaign? I think it should be around 20-25 for like just the main story, or for like everything. What video game do you think has the best story? I flip-flop between two of them all the time. It's not Disco Elysium. I'm sorry. It's up there, but it's not my number one or number two. The ones that I constantly flip-flop between are Silent Hill 2 and Red Dead Redemption 2. Because I swear, like, it sounds so wild when I say it. Every time someone is like, what the fuck did you just say? But I have never felt such strong feelings for a video game story in my life as I have felt for Red Dead Redemption 2. Like, genuinely, I have never felt those kind of feelings for any other game story. I cried like a bitch at the end of Red Dead Redemption 2. I have never cried that hard at a piece of media before or since. That game made me cry like a fucking bitch. And then the epilogue also was just so good. But, okay, just the main story. I think for, like, ideal game length for just the main story, I think it's like 8 to 10 hours. I think Starfield has the best story. Genuine David Jaffe take. Is that actually, did he say that? Wait. Like, I know that I clown on him a lot, but did he actually say that? He said one of the best narratives in gaming. Holy shit. I take back none of my my clowning. It is all deserved. That just reinforces all of it. I liked Starfield. I didn't love it, but like I liked it way more than most people. I played like 40 hours of Starfield. I thought the main story was boring as fuck. Oh, I need the, yeah. 8 to 10 hours is a bit short. For just the main story, no side content? That's not short. That's like perfect for just a main story in games. No. I need a key card. I do this every time. I get lost at about this point. Oh, it's because... Okay, I know where I'm going. I'm not lost. I figured it out. I cried at every Kingdom Hearts game except like 2. Yeah, I don't commonly cry at media. It's rare. Red Dead 2 fucked me up. And the thing with Red Dead 2 is it's long, even just like main story alone. And especially if you throw in side content,
Proceeding with operation in treatment.
it's only longer. But like it works in the game's favor in this case because you end up getting so attached to everyone in Red Dead 2 because A, the writing is phenomenal, and B, you spend so much time with them. And then shit goes crazy in like the latter half of RDR2's story. And it hits you like a fucking freight train. That's exactly why the main story should be longer. That's an exception. That if that was like the rule, if the average game was of the writing quality of Red Dead 2, then maybe. But like I'm sitting here talking about it as at least on par for the best narrative in any game I've ever played. Most games don't feel like that. Like 99 out of 100 games don't feel like that. I do that every time. I always am like, yep, you combine these, and you don't. But I still do it every time. I'm not gonna get the rocket launcher. I thought about it. 15 to 25 is a fair length for other games. I don't know, because like I'm trying to think of games that are around that length, and like I'm immediately thinking of the average Yakuza game is about that.
Missile attack confirmed.
And I feel like pretty much every Yakuza game I've played outside of Kenzan has felt at least a little long-winded. Like they drag ass in the middle and they just go on for too long. If you're doing side stuff, then it's understandable, but like for the videos, I'm not doing, well, I am doing a bit of everything as far as side content goes when I do those recordings for the videos, those first playthroughs, but like, I'm not completing every sub-story or anything extensive, right? I'm doing like 20 sub-stories a playthrough for the review playthroughs, give or take. And I'm doing enough to get like a really solid understanding of how good the side content is, but not enough to like 100% the game. And the Yakuza games feel long-winded generally. Oh, aside from Kurokyo as well. That one felt perfect. But like everything outside of those two, like 6 of the 8 Yakuza games I've played so far have felt long-winded. Like they could have been shorter. They absolutely could have been shorter. Especially Yakuza 2. I'm looking at you, Yakuza 2. You're great, but man, you drag ass in the middle so hard. It's crazy. And I said I wasn't gonna get it, but here I am. No, it's this one. No? Still can't believe the ass pull of an ending in Yakuza 2. Yakuza 2's ending is so fucking stupid. I love that game. That game is such a wild ride, but oh my god, the ending of that game is so fucking dumb. Like, I just, for a straight like 20 minutes while wrapping up my Yakuza 2 playthrough, my jaw was like on the floor because I was seriously just sitting there like, there's no way they did this. And it was just one ass pull after another. It's like a whole sequence of crazy ass pulls to try to be like, ha, you didn't see this coming. But the whole time you're just like, no, this is ridiculous. There was not even a hint that this was coming the entire time. This is just an ass pull. Because that's the difference between like a good plot twist and pulling a plot twist out of your ass. Is like, were there some signs, some breadcrumbs or foreshadowing or something that could have made you suspect it, even just a little bit? And the best ones are the ones where like the breadcrumbs were there, but you never even thought anything of it, right? Those are the best plot twists. But no, Yakuza 2 is like 4 plot twists in a row in the ending that are all just like, there was no sign beforehand that we were going even close to this route. I don't remember how to do this. Oh, I do remember how to do this. Never mind. It's so not worth it, but fuck it. I'm already this far. Ryuji did carry it. If it wasn't for his like portion of that ending, it would just be complete horseshit. He redeems it a little bit. Just a little bit. Because his ending, like as a character, is so perfect. Everything else in Yakuza 2's finale is so dumb. Or was it that? I remember it being something here. Hold on a minute. Nope, not that. Although Yakuza kind of ass pulls in the endings a lot. What do you think of Rubber Bullets? Rubber Bullets is similar. It's just one of those plot twists that's like, you could not have seen it coming beforehand. They just kind of randomly are like, oh yeah, rubber bullets. Haha! Like, what? Yakuza does those plot twists a bit. And I found an old interview from the writer of like the first, I think he was the lead writer of like all of the games from the original through to like Ishin. Maybe he did 0, I don't remember. I don't recall. But he basically was saying like, yeah, I kind of just go with whatever's gonna be like the most fun for the audience in the moment, even if it doesn't make the most sense overall in the story. I just go with it. Which I think is why you get those crazy ass pull reveals from him that had like no build up earlier in the story, because he's just like, what would be a crazy reveal? What would make people's jaw drop? That's gonna be like the most fun, right? Did I fuck it up again? I think I did. Did I miss a step? Is it Yokoyama? Hold on. He even said he never decides on who the villain is before writing it. Yes, it's the same interview that he says that. Because in regards to that, what he was trying to say wasn't literally just, I don't even know who the villain is when I write these. What he was trying to get at, and it was maybe just a little poorly phrased, was that he kind of just starts with like the opening of the game and just wings it from there while writing the script. Like he just starts at the front and just kind of does whatever throughout the rest of it, rather than most writers have like the beginning laid out and the ending laid out before they really start doing the script writing. And they try to connect the beginning to the ending like logically, kind of give you that journey from front to back in a way that makes sense. But he was saying like, no, I don't start with an ending in mind. I just start writing and see where I end up. Which is a crazy way of doing it, for sure. And maybe why there's a distinct lack of foreshadowing in some Yakuza titles. Come to think of it. But yeah, wild writing style, fun sometimes. But sometimes you get like the Yakuza 2 ending or rubber bullets, and you're just like, what the fuck? Yakuza 3 is pretty good. Like, I don't feel like Yakuza 3 suffers from that storytelling. Maybe aside from like the 30-minute lore dump near the end. Nah, I give up. Nope, I'm done. I'm wasting too much time on this. It's not necessary at all. Oh yeah, it's literally chapter 9, the plot. I forget that it's called that, but yes, that chapter. Where you literally sit down in an office and just get 30 minutes of Kiryu talking to a guy who explains the entire story to him for so long. And there's not even like entertaining cutscenes to show you visuals of what he's saying. No, it's literally just Kiryu talking to a dude in a room for like 30 minutes. It was rough. Is this key just the key that I need? It made me realize when I saw it in my inventory. Did I not miss anything? See, I was thinking that I had to drain the big pool. There. Now I have 4 more rockets on top of my infinite rockets. Worth it. So an MGS4 cutscene without the cutscene. Yes. Like everything that people criticize MGS4 MGS4, it's that, but without like any of the theatrics or like crazy over-the-top visual stuff that makes it fun in MGS4. It's literally just Kiryu talking to a guy for so long. It's bad. It's brutal to sit through. Rubber Bullets, chairman of the Deus Ex Machina clan. Close enough. Yeah, the Rubber Bullet reveal is wild. Although, I saw one of the Yakuza, like, YouTubers who has found their way into my algorithm. I saw that he had a video where he was, like,
Nikolai.
breaking it down and basically trying to be like, was this an ass pull or was it a good plot twist? But I haven't watched the video. So he might make some good points in there. I don't know. I haven't seen it.
So, you want to get out of here alone? Is that your plan?
I made certain none of the other supervisors survive. Since I'll be the only one who knows what really happened, I'll have more bargaining power when it comes to discussing my bonus.
Then why kill me? I'm not on their payroll.
They want you eliminated for reasons of their own. The amount is modest, but there is a reward to be claimed upon the confirmation of your death. Although I'm sure I'll miss you, it's time to say goodbye.
Goodbye.
You can either accept death with dignity or die with regret. It's entirely up to you.
He's so goofy. Oh. Bye, Nikolai.
Jill, what happened?
Carlos.
Oh, he's still
Nikolai
writing?
lead us to the chopper.
I thought he was gone. I thought it was like a former writer for the series.
I guess this is it then. But I don't want to die.
But he
in a
didn't
place
write
like
Pirate
this.
Yakuza or the Judgment games. Okay.
This isn't over yet.
The Judgment games were
I'm
written
not
by
giving up, Jill.
Nagoshi?
We
I thought
still have a
Nagoshi
chance.
left before Judgment. My timeline is fucking off. Clearly. Because I thought Nagoshi had departed prior to
Jill,
the Judgment games.
That's it. We've got to find a way out of here. Now!
Warning. Missile attack confirmed. Warning. Missile attack
Makes me think of one
confirmed.
specific comment that now I feel like I have to go back to.
D. All personnel
When did Nagoshi
evacuate
depart?
Immediately.
There it is. I'm reading the comment. I went and searched it and found it immediately. Thank God YouTube lets me search for comments by using like keywords. Late 2021. Oh. Yeah, hold on. Sorry, it's a big comment. Hold on. Yeah, I don't know. This comment, now knowing that Nagoshi was around for much longer, this comment just kind of reads as unhinged. Okay. Yeah, there we go.
System.
It's just a really large comment of complaining about things getting like ridiculously silly after Nagoshi's departure. But then like immediately after saying that, he starts ranting about how things got really silly and less appealing overall, starting with Yakuza 3. So basically, he likes the first 2 games, but only the PS2 versions, assumedly. He didn't mention Kiwami, so I don't know. But... it made me think of that immediately when you brought up Nagoshi being around for that long. It was like a flashback where I remembered that comment from my Yakuza 1 video. Go Jibble. What Nemesis fight did I... oh, I didn't pick up the case. Oh. I was like, what Nemi fight did I skip? But I didn't pick up the case from him after, what's it? I peacocked your mom is in OG Yakuza 2. How is that not silly? I forgot about that line, but that line made me laugh out loud when I saw it. I feel like the silliness has always been there to a degree. They probably, like, I would agree that they leaned into it more, starting with, like, Yakuza 3. But it's always been there, for sure. Oh, that one just went right over his head. Is it possible to kill Nemi without the railgun? Wait, that's an actual line? Yeah, it's an actual line from Yakuza 2. Kiryu tells a guy that he peacocked his mom. It is like right at the start. It's like when you first arrive in Sotenbori. So I think it's literally chapter 1 of the game. Maybe chapter 2. Latest, it's chapter 2. It might be chapter 1, I don't remember. It's been a while, actually. It's been like 6 months since I played Yakuza 2 now. Critical verbal damage. Yeah, the guy says something about a peacock. I think he says that like Kiryu is strutting around like a peacock or something. And Kiryu just responds by saying, I peacocked your mom. It's fucking hilarious. It genuinely, it's awesome. That's why I always say that I love PS2 Kiryu. Because, man, that is a big tonal shift after Yakuza 2, is Kiryu in general. The first 2 PS2 games, he's like a whole different person compared to Yakuza 3 and on. Say it.
Stars, I'll give you stars.
Such a classic line. He was originally supposed to die in the end of 3? When? I'm trying to remember 3's ending. Because they've done a couple, like, bait and switch Kiryu deaths. I don't remember the one in 3, though.
Jill!
It's over, Carlos.
Remember he gets
What are
stabbed?
you talking about? Don't you hear that?
At the end of
There's a
3?
second chopper.
Who
One's
stabs
here
him
to
at the end of
rescue
3?
you.
But who is it? Who could possibly be
Why do I
looking
not
for me?
remember this?
It
Is it the
doesn't matter,
American
we just have
guy
to be there when it
that
lands.
stabs him? The goofy fucking American guy? Amazaki. Why do I not remember this? Oh, it's like post credits. See, I was thinking of like the whole finale on the rooftop. Yes, the post credits, they pulled like a bait and switch Kiryu death.
Thanks, you saved us.
Yes, I remember that. Okay.
Is it
I was like, Hamazaki was there. What the
Finish this.
fuck? The like post credits
It's
one.
coming.
Yeah.
Yeah. God bless you, Barry Burton. You're an American hero. Yeah, I heard that Chris was gonna die in RE6. I did know that one.
That's it.
What was I just yapping about? Oh, Kiryu deaths. I was about to say something, but I'm not going to. I was about to talk about Kenzan's ending, but I forget that, like, because Kenzan never got localized, like 99%, if not more, of Western Yakuza fans will have no idea of how Kenzan's story plays out, so I just won't. Especially because there's a patch coming out, maybe in the near future. We'll see.
Based on that fact, Raccoon City has been literally
I will
wiped
not.
off the map. Current reports have the death
I'll just
toll
refrain.
surpassing
I was about to
100,000.
start spoiling Kenzan's ending.
Our hearts go out to those poor
Amazing
civilians.
ending. Kenzan, I still think, has the best story out of any of the Yakuza games I've played, hands down. Kadohyo has the best, like, gameplay and progression from what I've played so far, but Kenzan definitely has the best narrative so far. That game was so fucking peak. And I couldn't even understand, like, a third of it the whole time I was playing. Have I talked about that? While I was playing Kenzan, I would have to, like, record a part of the game, and then to make sure that, like, I understood the bits that I didn't catch the first time through, I had to go back to my recording and watch it again. And for the stuff that I didn't understand, I had, like, Google Translate on my phone with the camera, and I was, like, translating the kanji and stuff in the subtitles to be like, what did he just say? It's part of why it took me so long to play through it. Because, like, my actual in-game playtime for Kenzan was, like, 36 hours or something. But it took me, like, a week and a half to play through it while playing it like it was my full-time job. Because it was all in Japanese. So I had to make sure that I was understanding all of it. Isn't there a fan patch? No. Kenzan has never been localized, and as of right now, does not have a patch. There's no English patch. Well, there's a partial English patch, but all it does is translates, like, the menus, like your inventory screens and stuff, but that's it. None of the dialogue in the game, written or spoken, is localized in that patch. Nor are the tutorials. I don't think they're translated in that patch either. Yeah, there's a current work in progress patch that recently the team said that it shouldn't be too much longer, but that's all they said. So Who knows exactly what they mean by that, like time frame wise. And then obviously, this is the same team that was working on a patch like 5 years ago and then just randomly went radio silent for like 5 years. So it's hard to say. Like, I don't want to say that the patch is coming out really soon. So I stick with the patch might be coming out in the near future. Maybe. We'll see. I don't want to like assume that it's going to and give people that hope, right? Because who knows? Amazing game though. Like, I really want that English patch, just that more Western Yakuza fans can play it and enjoy it. Because the barrier of entry being speaking and understanding Japanese is a very high barrier of entry. Anyway, leave us alone, Claire Red... Oh, that's a different sentence. Claire Redfield couldn't believe Leon's words. Leon continued, "You're looking for your brother, right? Just go." Claire knew that Leon and Sherry needed immediate medical attention, but she could not waste any more time. I'll be back, I promise, she said as she disappeared into the wilderness alone. I sure hope so. It's such a great game. I really just want more people in the fandom to be able to play it. Because, like, my video... my Kenzan video was basically me being like, this shit is so good, I can't believe that, like, no one in the fandom has played this. But obviously, it's because the barrier of entry is so high. And then, you know, in the comments, I got so many comments that were like, man, I wish I could play this, but I can't fucking speak Japanese. And it's like, yep, understandable. So I want the game to be playable in English, even if it is only through a fan mod. What wilderness? They were in a desert. The best part is that you're not wrong. The good one again? Damn. There's an English walkthrough, and as of now, it's the best way to experience the story. Yeah, isn't it only like the main story?
Piss on him. Piss on him.
The
Piss on him.
rules are simple.
Piss on him.
Even then, I would hold off, maybe, for at least a little bit, on the off chance that that patch really does come in the near future. I would say it's worth waiting for the patch if you have like an imported copy that you're sitting on, or you're like about to import or whatever. I would just wait. Because like, there's a massive difference between, you know, playing it with a walkthrough that gives you like I've seen the walkthrough. I read it out of curiosity when people mentioned it. And there's a huge difference between watching a cutscene and then reading the walkthrough and having it be like, yeah, so basically what they said here is blah, blah. And he sums it up in like maybe 2 or 3 sentences, the whole cutscene. Massive difference between that and actually just being able to like watch the scene in English, right? And experience it as you go. And then obviously with the English patch, it's going to include like sub-stories and mini-games and all that too, so you'll actually be able to play the whole game using the patch rather than just the main story. It'll definitely get a remake, not remaster. I don't know, because RGG's current like stance on it, as far as what they've said in interviews, is that Kenzan is a maybe. Whereas like with Yakuza 3 in that interview from about a year ago, you've got a producer saying like, yeah, we're gonna do Yakuza 3 probably, but we just don't know when we're gonna do it. Kenzan is still like they might do it, but there are no current plans for it. And honestly, I don't know if they will. Because I don't know. I don't know. Kenzan would be a pretty hard remake. Because, like, it would be. I guess there's Ishin to kind of build off of, but like you look at Kiwami 1 and 2, and with those remakes, like Kiwami 1, they built off of the foundation of Yakuza 0. And they just pretty much were like, yeah, what if Yakuza 1, but like it played like Yakuza 0? And like, boom, right? Kiwami 2, they were like, what if Yakuza 2, but it played like Yakuza 6? And they did that. But with Kenzan, there's no like, you know, sword fighting Yakuza game from the modern era that they could really base that off of. You know what I mean? Maybe Ishin, but even then, Ishin is 11 years old at this point, right? Ishin has aged a good bit. They could simply re-release it with English and people would be fine. They absolutely could. Well, actually, I was about to agree with you because I was going to be like, yeah, the game is great. It would stand on its own. Here's the thing. Here's something I should mention about Kenzan, in spite of all of my glazing. If you don't like Yakuza 3, especially if you don't like the way that Yakuza 3's combat works, you won't like Kenzan or Kenzan's combat. Because Yakuza 3's combat is Kenzan's combat without the swords. Like, straight up, no exaggeration. Yakuza 3's combat is basically pulled straight over from Kenzan's. Down to the blocking behavior in the AI and everything, that's all Kenzan. Which I think is a big part of why their official comment on it when they said, like, maybe we'll remake it. The statement from producers was, we would want to do a full Kiwami style remake because we think the game has aged poorly. We wouldn't want to re-release it as it was.
Help.
And I think that would, just now, like, really thinking about it and how many Yakuza fans dislike Yakuza 3, those same fans would dislike Kenzan for sure, for the same reasons, like all that same shit. Isn't that a taste? I don't know. They know we want that game here in the West? Yeah. Like, they know there's a desire for it, but I think they're more worried about, like, Yakuza 3 is so disliked, and Yakuza 3 really is just Kenzan's gameplay. So if Yakuza 3 is so hated in the modern fandom, not hated, but so controversial, then would it be worth just re-releasing Kenzan as is and having it be another controversial title, right? I think that's the position that they're ultimately in right now with Kenzan. And why they've probably come to the conclusion of, we would want to remake it, not just re-release it. Isn't that a taste? Yeah. Some people like me, but I don't know. It's kind of a taste. I know that some fans who start with like Kiwami and, you know, 0 and stuff go back and play 3 and like it. But it doesn't seem like it's very many fans who start with the later games that go back and like it. It seems like most people who like Yakuza 3 are people like me who played in release order. From what I've seen, the community dislikes 5 more than 3. On the creator side, and maybe it's just because I haven't covered 5 yet, I've seen way more dislike of 3 than I have for 5. Like, not even close. And I think that will probably hold. We'll see once I do the Yakuza 5 video, but I think it'll probably hold because, like, I started seeing dislike of Yakuza 3 literally from the day that I uploaded the Yakuza 1 video. People were commenting about disliking Yakuza 3. And I haven't had that with 5. I've had like a couple people mention that they don't like 5, but nowhere near as many. But again, it might just be because I'm not at that point yet. I don't know. From where I am, like with the comments I've gotten on the series and stuff, it seems like 3 is the most controversial out of the bunch. I would love a classic collection. Hell, you know what I want? I want the first 2 PS2 games re-released in HD in the West. That's what I want. Five is a banger. I've definitely seen some dislike for 5, but nowhere near what I've seen for Yakuza 3. But I have seen it. I've seen that people don't like 5, or at least some people don't. But that's any game. I've seen more people dislike 5 than most in the comments and such. Like, more people dislike 5 than dislike 4, right? 4 actually, weirdly, for being sandwiched between 2 contentious games and not really being that much of an evolution from 3. 4 weirdly seems like it's pretty chill among most people. Most people seem to like 4. Probably because Akiyama, right? Literally, as I say it, people like 4 because Akiyama. As soon as I thought it and said it, yeah. Opening the game with Akiyama was a big play, for sure. Because God, I love Akiyama. I like Saejima a lot too. And Tanemura. But like, not as much as Akiyama. Saejima was my least favorite of the Yakuza 4, if you will. But I still really liked all of them. Just...
Go away!
Akiyama was next level. And Tanemura, but I also played Remaster. So, I know that Tanemura's like performance is very different between the two. I've seen comparisons. I've seen old Tanemura. I don't like him as much. Some people do have a preference for him. I definitely prefer the new one out of the two, like having seen the side-by-side comparisons. But yeah, Akiyama dual-wielding pistols as like his signature weapon in Dead Souls 2. Okay, here. I need to say something. I need to say it with my whole chest, too. You ready, chat? I can't wait to replay Yakuza Dead Souls. Unironically, I really want to replay that game. I want to 100% it on stream. Badly. Because it's fucking fun. And for some reason, it has this reputation of being, like, dog shit among the community. And it's just a fun, stupid zombie game with, like, Akiyama and, why can I not think of his name right now? Ryuji Goda and Majima. And, like, how can I not like this game? You know, I just say it all like that. It's a zombie game with Akiyama, Goro Majima, Ryuji Goda, and Kiryu. And Ryuji gets a Gatling gun that is built into his prosthetic arm. We don't know why he lost his arm, but he did at some point, and he has a prosthetic with a Gatling gun in it. Kiryu gets to run around with a fucking Barrett 50 cal that he only gets in like the last story chapter, but that's besides the point. Akiyama dual wields pistols. Come on. Come on. He lost his arm because of the bomb. They never say that in the game. It can maybe be assumed, but they never addressed it in the game. Not once. Which is part of what makes it so funny, is that he's just missing an arm. And that might be why, but they just never mention it. He just has no arm, and no one ever even brings up the fact that he's missing an arm. It is never acknowledged in the game, which makes it so much funnier. So much funnier. I'm overtime, and I got shit to do. So I think after... after Nemi kill, I will let Rocket Nemi do what he wants with me. It's like Barrett in Final Fantasy VII. It is Barrett from Final Fantasy VII, yes. Prosthetic arm Gatling gun. Except for it's a little better, because it's like an actual high-tech prosthetic, like normal hand, but then when he's ready to start kicking ass, it fucking transforms, like literal Transformers style, into the Gatling gun. So it's even better than Barrett. Like, Barrett just straight up has a gun arm, and that's already hilarious. But Ryuji has like a fucking Transformers ass prosthetic arm. Just straight up. As soon as he's ready to start shooting zombies for no reason, because also, mind you, he gets this arm years before the zombie apocalypse. If you don't know Dead Souls' story, then I need to emphasize that for you. He gets this arm way, way before the apocalypse even happens. He just has it. For no fucking reason. Like, genuinely, there's no reason that he has this Gatling gun arm other than just the developers thought it would be cool. So they just gave it to him and then never addressed why he has it. But there are cutscenes of like Ryuji just living his normal peaceful life years before the zombie apocalypse, and he has that prosthetic arm. It's crazy. I don't know, it's such a stupid game, but like in a fucking ridiculously fun way. It's good stupid. Anyway, it is about that time. I'm over that time. So, I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did enjoy, and you haven't done so already, feel free to go ahead and leave a sub, follow, whatever. Come back another time. We're doing this. We're doing all sorts of other stuff. Like, tomorrow, we're playing that new PoE 2 League that came out. Get banned, idiot.
Shot a load, my bad.
Who else? Who else? Get banned. Get banned. I warned you.
Stick my arm in it.
Oh. Oh. Who's getting banned? Hold on. Yeah. Yeah, get banned. Get banned. Hold on. Boom. Banned. Good night. Rip Bozo. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh yeah, tomorrow we're playing that new PoE 2 League that just came out a couple hours ago. But, because it was in the middle of stream, it is what it is. Who got banned? What did I miss? Everyone spamming sound redeems as soon as I started outroing. It was a fucking ban wave. Weirdly specific. I just typed numbers, to be honest with you. Anyway. What was I talking about? Oh yeah, we're doing that. We're doing Ace Combat 100%, Metal Gear, Yakuza, all sorts of shit. Come back for any of it. Other than that, also if you enjoyed on the YouTube side, leave a like. Because algorithm, it helps. If you're looking for links to anything outside of YouTube or Twitch to engage with the community, sorry, holding in a hiccup. Check out links in the description below, things like Twitter, Discord server, whatever. Those are there if you're looking for them. If you're on Twitch, they're on the channel page, they're in chat commands, whatever. They're there. Other than that, once again, I hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see all of you back here next time. I hope y'all have a great rest of your day. Thank you for coming to the stream. Hiccup. Oh God. And goodbye.